Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news and all that. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe, as always lots to talk about on this current video today. So the first topic of the development is in relation to David De Gea. So reports have been coming out, a narrative's been coming out about De Gea in the last couple of days that reportedly De Gea could leave Manchester United when his current contract ends in 2020. Because of course last year Manchester United of course triggered a 1 year extension on his current contract, as we all currently know. So as reports do say, Manchester United of course have been in contract negotiations of getting David De Gea a new long-term contract at Manchester United. David De Gea, from his own perspective, as he said, he has committed his long-term future in Manchester United, and he did insist that he's happy to stay with Manchester United. But reportedly David De Gea is demanding that he wants around £400,000 a week, and he's demanding that he wants to be the best, the highest paid player at the club, alongside Alexis Sanchez. So he's demanding that he wants around Alexis Sanchez's wages, and reportedly Manchester United are refusing to meet what currently David De Gea is demanding. So Man United are reportedly, refusing to meet his wage demands reportedly, and if Man United is still refusing this could see him leave David De Gea, when his current deal ends in 2020. So is demanding that he wants around £400,000 a week, David De Gea. Of course, it did say the other week in the press that Man United were willing to offer him a 90 million wage package over this new 5 year deal he was going to be signing as well. But reportedly, Manchester United have been in talks of getting him a new contract as well. I think Man United were willing to offer him £350,000 a week, but I think De Gea is demanding that he wants £400,000 a week, and he's demanding that he wants similar wages to Alexis Sanchez, because obviously Alexis Sanchez, of course, is the highest paid player at the club, and the highest paid player in the Premier League as well. So this is what basically David De Gea is demanding. So if Manchester United are still refusing to meet what he's demanding, then obviously we're going to have to identify a replacement for him in goal, as we all currently know. But hopefully Solskjaer is still confident, that somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new deal. As I said, he has now obviously made 100 Premier League clean sheets as David De Gea. He's been one of the longest servants here at Manchester United. Of course, he's been here since 2011. This is his seventh, eighth season now. Of course, he's won everything here. He's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions as well. He's won the club's Player of the Year 4 out of the last 5 seasons, as well as David De Gea. He's won the Matt Busby Player of the Year quite a few times as well. But we could risk losing him, when his current deal ends in 2020, if we are not willing to meet his current wage demands. I think Man United are willing to offer him £350,000 a week, but I think he's demanding that he wants around £400,000 a week, David De Gea as well. And reportedly Manchester United and Ed Woodward are not prepared to pay this current wage. So the wage is the current problem in all this as well. It has said, in the past that Paris Saint-Germain were interested in De Gea. It did say before Juventus were interested in De Gea. We know 4 years ago that Real Madrid were on the brink of getting David De Gea as well. But obviously PSG, I think have showed slight interest, because obviously, their team is a replacement David De Gea, for Buffon as well, who I think is 41 years of age now. So what replacement would you get for David De Gea, if he is to leave Manchester United, when his current contract term expires, what replacement would you get? We know there were rumours going on about this, was it sometime last year, that Man United showed an interest in Everton's Jordan Pickford, if David De Gea was to leave. We did hear about that at one point as well. We showed an interest at one point in Joe Blanc as a replacement for him. So as I did say, more things will update on the David De Gea scenario. As I said, I hope he doesn't leave, because potentially he's the best goalkeeper in the world, as we all currently know. But at the moment, contract negotiations haven't been going really, really well, because of course David De Gea is demanding that he wants to be the highest paid player at the club, alongside Alexis Sanchez. So it would obviously as well make him the best paid goalkeeper in world football as well. And I think all in all, the ninth best paid player all in all as well. But yeah, so reportedly Manchester United are refusing to meet what he's demanding, because of course risen from £400,000 a week. Of course, we haven't seen the best of Alexis Sanchez yet, since he's been here. Of course, he's been here just over the year, as we all currently know. He has had a couple of injuries, as we all know. He's lacked goals and all that. We know he hasn't really, been given the to be quite honest with you, as Alexis Sanchez. But I think, as Solskjaer was saying, he's lost trustworthy in him, he's lost faith in Alexis Sanchez, as I said, and he's been here just over a year. And if, there's no improvements in his performances, Manchester United, could sell Alexis Sanchez in the summer. Of course, there were talks the other week, that he could make a return back to Arsenal. But Solskjaer was saying quite a few weeks back that he was confident his form would improve. Alexis Sanchez, maybe he does need a couple of goals, to give him that confidence. Alexis Sanchez, as I said, but we know mainly anyway, he hasn't been first choice. But of course, he's the highest paid player in the Premier League, Alexis Sanchez. But yeah, that's the latest news on David De Gea, to give you an update on as well. Hopefully somewhere online, we've still got a sort of a contract renewals out. Hopefully somewhere online, we can get Rashford a new deal at Manchester updated before Liverpool game night. Got indicated that Man United had breakthrough in negotiations and he was on the verge of signing a new 6-year deal with Manchester United. Marcus Rashford. This would take him under contract till 2025. Would take him to the age as well, because he's 21 now at the moment, is Marcus Rashford. But since Solskjaer's come in, his form's been rejuvenated. He's been playing more in Manchester United squad. He's looking very, very effective. Essentially, he's our number 9, as we all currently know, Marcus Rashford. But since Solskjaer's come, he's been scoring more goals. His finishing's improved as well, and his current deal ends in 2020. I think there's an option of a further year as well. He's going to get a massive wage increase as well as Marcus Rashford. Good news is he's just recovered from his ankle injury as well, so that wasn't too serious. That's been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice, Marcus Rashford over Romelu Lukaku, because as I did say, what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku cannot do this, as we all currently know. So hopefully somewhere online, we can come to an agreement of getting, Marcus Rashford a new contract as well. In relation, Paul, hopefully somewhere online, we can come to an agreement, of getting Paul Pogba a new contract at the club as well, because the narrative came out about this sometime last year that reportedly, currently Raiola, who obviously, represents Paul Pogba, he was set to have negotiations with the Manchester board over getting Paul Pogba a new contract at the club, and he definitely, deserves it, based on his fantastic performances. He's still got currently 2 years left on his current deal as Paul Pogba, as we all currently know. But as we all know, he has been one of our most influential players as Paul Pogba. He's been getting the freedom to express himself fantastically well. I do think he looks very, very good in that number 10 role. His breaks box to box are good. He gives good service, to the front men. He's been scoring, he's been providing, and when he's playing in this kind of on at least 12 to 15 goals a season, where Paul Pogba, as I said, I think he's just currently on under £300,000 a week at the moment as well. But I think Man United keen on trying to get him a new long-term contract at Manchester United as well. There is still contract, where we do need to sort out as well. But going into the Southampton game tomorrow, as I did currently give you an update on, I do probably think, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably going to go with a similar sort of lineup, to as he did do against Crystal Palace, considering the amount of injuries, that Manchester United have currently got. I do think in this game he'll probably drop Fred. We don't know if Fred, to be quite honest with you, is a long-term solution for Manchester United. Of course, we did get him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk, was it 47 or 48 million pounds, and he has found game time very, very difficult as Fred, to be quite honest with you. Wasn't really impressive against Crystal Palace, so we don't know if he's a long-term solution. I probably think Solskjaer he'll prefer the likes of Scott McTominay in that mid and Andres Pereira in that midfield. I do think he'll probably give Andres Pereira a chance against Southampton at the weekend as well. He has possibly said that James Garner could be involved as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so he'll probably make some alterations. He'll probably make a couple of changes. To be quite honest with you, I think he'll probably drop Alexis Sanchez as well. I don't think he'll play Sanchez, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite honest with you. So, and we know Rashford's back now anyway, so it's probably likely that Rashford will play against Southampton as well, because against Crystal Palace he went with a 4-2-3-1, as we all currently know. He went with De Gea in net, he went with Young, he went with Smalling, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Fred and McTominay as the holding midfielders, the attacking mids, he went with Sanchez on the left. He went with Pogba in the number 10. He went with Dalot on the right and Lukaku at top. I probably think Lukaku may be given another chance as well, even though mainly he hasn't been first choice since Solskjaer's coming. But due to that, he got a good performance out against Crystal Palace. He got 2 goals as well, which was very, very good to see. So he may play, Lukaku up top, with Marcus Rashford. As I said, maybe Diego Dalot, may get another chance as well, because essentially he's a right back, is Diego Dalot. But obviously he was playing as a right winger against Crystal Palace. Palace, as we all know as well. So I do think he'll make a couple of changes, but we still know that we have got a lot of injuries. We've got around 9 or 10 senior players out, is it, something like that? Herrera, obviously, Ander Herrera and Juan Mata have both got hamstring injuries, as we all know. We don't know how long they're out for, Herrera and Juan Mata, but Herrera's been very, very good this season, as I said, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. Ander Herrera's performances have been fantastic. He's been pulling the strings off very, very well in the midfield. He's been galloping forward more, and he's a good ball playing midfield, and I think he's always been a consistent player, since, Manchester United got Ander Herrera, as we all know. This is his 5th season in total now at Manchester United. Of course, he's been here since the Louis van Gaal era, but since Solskjaer's coming, he's playing a bigger part in his team. He's playing more regularly from the start, and, obviously, Solskjaer's number one midfield trio usually goes with, he's obviously Herrera, Matip and Pogba, and, they do look very, very effective in the midfield. But I do think Ander Herrera, is complementing that midfield fantastically well. So we do hope his injuries are not too severe as Ander Herrera. So he has got a hamstring injury. Of course, Juan Mata as well has got a hamstring injury as well. Even though mainly hasn't been first choice this season on that right-hand side, we know mainly that Jesse Lingard has mainly, been the first choice, because obviously Jesse Lingard's very, very young, very young, still young in his generation. Obviously, he provides more pace and obviously creates better width, than Juan Mata, because as I did say, Juan Mata is still a very, very consistent player, as we all know. Of course, he's been in the Premier League a lot of years, Juan Mata, but as I did say, he's 30 years of age. He's lost that yard of pace, just like Sanchez has definitely, lost that yard of pace, as I said. But Juan Mata is still a very, very consistent player, because he has been a long servant in the Premier League. He's been here. This is his 5th season at United. He had 3 years with Chelsea as well, and he has won a lot of trophies, since he's come to the Premier League as Juan Mata, as I said. But as I did currently say, we do hope his injury is not too severe, as I said. Of course, we know Lingard's out anywhere with an injury. He's got a hamstring injury as well. I don't know how long Jesse Lingard is initially out for, as I said. But again, hope his injury is not too severe. Of course, we know Matic is out. He's out for a couple of weeks, so hopefully somewhere along the line he can return and make a return for Paris Saint-Germain in the second leg. Of course, he's got a muscle injury. It did say initially before the Liverpool game he was going to be out for up to a month or a couple of weeks, something like that, because he did suffer this injury in training. And we do have strong reservations about Nemanja Matic, as we all couldn't know, because he's very, very slow. He's aging up, as we all know. But since Solskjaer's coming, I think he's improved. His distribution's improved. He's looking more effective in his passing, and I do think he's improved since Solskjaer's coming in. We do know that he's been being a regular as Nemanja Matic, so we do know that he's out for a couple of weeks as well. Good news, as I did say, that Rashford's just recently recovered from injury. In relation to Anthony Martial as well, I think he's close to returning to full fitness after Martial's had a groin injury as well, and he's been fantastic on that left-hand side this season. Anthony Martial, as I said, provides the width very, very well. Got a lot of tenacity about his play, very, very quick and distinctive on the ball. As I said, Anthony Martial shows that ability to attack, play balls, score goals, as he has shown throughout the course of this season, when he has been fully fit, Anthony Martial. So could he possibly be involved against Southampton on Saturday? I'm not too sure, to be quite honest, but I do think he's closer to full fitness, is Anthony Martial as well. And, we've got other injuries as well, and, we're doing very, very well, as I currently said, and I hope somewhere along the line we can get a new contract at the club as well, as I did say, because he deserves it, based on his fantastic performances, as I said. Of course, Manchester United, as we all know, that investment is needed into the club in the summer, because we do expect, departures in the summer as well. We do expect quite a few experienced players, to leave in the summer as well. Of course, the club is still looking to hire a director footballer to come in as well. Reports do say we're going to get around 200 odd million, to spend in the summer. Solskjaer is going to have a big say on our transfer plans in the summer as well. He's going to have a big say on our transfer plans in the summer as well. So basically, I do think now, based on the fantastic progression, Solskjaer has done, since he's come in as Manchester United manager. Of course, we've won 12 out of 15 in all competitions, as we all currently know. We've only lost one game in all competitions since Solskjaer's come in 15. We have yet to lose. We have not lost yet in the Premier League since Solskjaer's come in, and Solskjaer has now made history in the Premier League, which is very, very good. We have won 8 away from home in all competitions. We have won 9 in the league, and we've scored 33 goals in the process in all competitions, and that is an absolutely fantastic start, as I currently said. So I do think now Solskjaer should be given the job on a full-time basis as Manchester United manager, because of course he knows the club inside out, he knows the culture of the club and all that, his tactics are right. And as he did say when he came into the club, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, regardless of the injuries and all that, he was going to give everybody the chance, including young players, the fringe players. And it's good that he's, it's good to see that Solskjaer is not reluctant, to give the young players a chance, which is a very, very good indeed. But he did say when he came into the club he was going to get the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football again, which he's done fantastically well. And I think, if we can get some new additions into the club in the summer, we can be, start to be competitive and get us up there, challenging for trophies and all that, as I said. And I think next season we can be title contenders, if we can get some new signings into the club in the summer, because I've identified there's areas where we do need to strengthen up, because we are lacking in key areas. We need a central defender, we need a centre defensive mid that's fast and tenacious, and of course we do need someone on that right hand side as well. But I think now the board itself are not looking at another manager to come in on a full-time basis. I think now Solskjaer is the number one, to get the job on a full-time basis. Initially it only cost us an additional fee of around £7-8 million, to give him the job on a full-time basis, as we all currently know, because initially we paid 1.8 million at the moment to get him on a temporary basis. But I do think he can take this team forward, he can elevate us to that high level and get us in that commanding position that we do want to be in. And considering that no investment was made in January, considering that we've had a lot of injuries as well, Solskjaer has done a really, really good job, and he's handled that fantastically well, to be quite honest with you. And obviously he's inheriting what Jose Mourinho's players. There's still some players here from Louis van Gaal. There's still Juan Mata here from the David Moyes era as well, because obviously Manny and Fellaini left as well. But he's brought the structures back, he's brought the confidence back into the team, he's motivated the team, he's brought the fear factor back to the club, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. And the glory days now have returned to Manchester United. Said he's brought the fluidity back to the team, structured the teams right, the cohesion of the teams right. You can see the vast improvement since he's coming. You've got defenders that are willing to play out from the back, good ball playing midfielders, attackers that are showing that ability to attack as well, which is very, very good. The front men are interchanging well. Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself. So these players are getting the best out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is very, very good indeed. But as I did currently say, reportedly we are going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. We do this season want to progress in the FA Cup, and that would be fantastic. If we can win the FA Cup, that will invest some more money. Hopefully we can get into the top four as well, so we can get Champions League for next season as well. And don't rule us out against Paris Saint-Germain. A 2-goal. I know we've got a 2-goal deficit to turn around, but it's anything's possible. Because we are playing really, really well. But obviously we're more focused on getting wins in the league and getting the top four and all that, and hopefully succeeding in the FA Cup as well. But it's possible that we can come back from a 2-goal deficit against Paris Saint-Germain. I know that we've obviously got injuries still, and hopefully some of these injuries we've got, some of these players can recover from injury by the time the Paris Saint-Germain game comes. We know that obviously Paul Pogba is suspended for the Paris Saint-Germain game, so he's going to be a big miss for that game as well. So you've got Southampton tomorrow. After Southampton, it's PSG, as we all know, and then after Paris Saint-Germain, it's Arsenal, as we all know. Hopefully some of the injuries we've got can recover from injury for the Arsenal game as well. And then after that, I think it's Wolves in the quarterfinals of the Cup, and then I think it's an international break, and then it's Watford after that, and then again after that, it's Wolves in the league as well. So these winnable games coming up. We know the two hard ones, obviously Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. They're the two hard ones, as I said. But as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did currently say yesterday, he did say that James Garner could be involved in this game as well. Because in relation to James Garner, he did actually, compare him, to the likes of Michael Carrick. So basically, Solskjaer's compared James Garner to one of the greatest midfielders of the modern era, in Michael Carrick. Because obviously Michael Carrick was a great serving player for years on end. We had him for 12 fantastic years. Of course, won everything in Manchester United in English football as well. He's currently coaching now. But what Solskjaer believes is that James Garner has somewhere along the line the same mould as Michael Carrick. So he does believe he's capable of great things, James Garner. He does believe Solskjaer that he's got a great future at the club as well. So he does believe that James Garner can emulate into the next Michael Carrick, and this is what he basically said after the after the Crystal Palace result. This is what basically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had currently said. But we do know that investment is needed, because we do expect players to leave Manchester United as well. Antonio Valencia, I think Solskjaer has hinted that he's on his way out of the club, is Antonio Valencia, because it's unlikely he's going to sign a new 1 year extension on his contract, Antonio Valencia. And it did say that West Ham had reportedly showed an interest in Antonio Valencia. Of course, he's been here, 10 years, something like that, so he has been a long-serving player at Manchester United, but I think his 10 years could be over at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. And I do think he's one of the likely players, to leave this summer, is Antonio Valencia as well, because he's had injuries this season, I think. And obviously, he's just recently suffered another injury, so he's out for a couple of weeks. He has made over 300 appearances in all competitions. He has grown, developed, and flourished over the years, he has been here, Antonio Valencia, but I do think he's on his way out of the club. As I did say before, I do think Valencia's on his way out of the club, because obviously Ashley Young is first choice at that right back, as I said. And Ashley Young's 33, Valencia's 33. They're both aging up. They're both coming to the end of their playing careers. Ashley Young can still perform well on the day. Good to see him get his name on the score sheet against Crystal Palace. He has been here since 2011, so this is his 7th, 8th season now at Manchester United. Ashley Young's, as we all know, we've just recently signed a 1 year extension on his contract as well, Ashley Young. But I did say he's on his way out of the club as well. And of course, he's our first choice right back. Mainly was a right winger when he was younger, but obviously most recently, especially, we operate him as a right back. Now and again, we've rotated him and put him on the left hand side, but mainly, we do play him as a right back. I do think, Lukaku could still possibly be sold in the summer, because a lot of Manchester United fans, do think he's finished at Manchester United. So if Manchester United are to sanction Romelu Lukaku off, obviously we're going to have to try and find a replacement for Lukaku, because obviously we can't rely on Rashford, for the whole course of the season, to win his a title. So we'd probably maybe need an experienced, striker if Lukaku was to leave, because Lukaku's still got a good pedigree in Premier League. He has scored a lot of goals, as I said, and since Solskjaer's come in, when Lukaku has had the chance to play, I think his form has been rejuvenated. He's been providing some assists. He has been scoring goals himself, as he did prove against Crystal Palace the other night, Romelu Lukaku. But as I did say, if Man United are going to will to sell him in the summer, I think it will be hard for us to recoup the initial £75 million, we initially paid for him from Everton. And of course, he's well Premier League proven. It's likely Manchester United could possibly sell Sanchez in the summer as well. So they are two players that could depart as well. But Romelu Lukaku said if Man United do decide to sell him in the summer, if Man United do decide to sell him in the summer, he's indicated that he does want to make the move to Juventus, Romelu Lukaku. So this is what Romelu Lukaku has made clear. But of course, as I did say, in that midfield now, obviously we've got Herrera injured, Matic injured and all that. This will allow more opportunities for the likes of McTominay, who had a really impressive game against Palace. He was, playing simple passes through. He's playing between the lines very well. He's played in the last couple of games and he has been impressive, to be quite fair, McTominay. So he'll get more opportunities now. Probably somewhere along the line, Andres Pereira will get the chance as well. I do think he'll probably give Andres Pereira a chance against Southampton. Of course, Andres Pereira, as I did say, Solskjaer is keen on getting him a new long-term contract Manchester United. I think from his own perspective, he does have strong reservations about his game time. Andres Pereira, of course, he's only 23 and he's a player that wants to play first, that wants to be playing first team football, week in, week out. He wants to be playing regular in the team. He has found game time very difficult as a Manchester United player so far. But considering the injuries we've got now, especially in that midfield, he probably will be given the chance. Andres Pereira, and Solskjaer himself has been in negotiations, with Andres Pereira, about his future at the club and all that. Because when he was on loan, in La Liga, with Granada with Granada and Valencia, he was playing more regular and he enjoyed. He was a first team regular, with Granada and Valencia. Obviously, Andres Pereira graduated from the Manchester United youth system, as we all currently know. But I think he should be given an opportunity against Southampton. So he could possibly play him alongside. I think it could be Andres Pereira alongside Scott McTominay, in that midfield. To be quite honest with you, I don't think he'll start, be quite honest with you, because we don't know if he's a long-term solution, Fred, to be quite honest with you. And he wasn't that impressive, reportedly, I heard, against Crystal Palace as well. So he'll probably drop a couple of players. He'll probably drop Fred. He'll probably drop Alexis Sanchez as well, because obviously now Rashford is back from injuries now as well. So he'll probably make a couple of changes, but somewhere along the line he'll probably play a similar lineup. But he'll probably go with the same back line as he has been doing in the last couple of games. He'll probably put Smalling alongside Victor Lindelof, as I said, because I think Smalling, since he's recovered from injury, I think his performances have been very, very good. This is what his 9th season now as a Manchester United player. Smalling, he's been one of the longest servants here, as well as Chris Smalling. As I said, I did say I'd prefer Bailly and Lindelof as a centre back partnership, but obviously he's preferred Smalling as his choice at centre back alongside Victor Lindelof, because Smalling just not too long ago, recovered from injury as well. But Smalling's been putting a good defensive display out. I think Victor Lindelof, progressing at the club fantastically well. I think his performances have really, really improved this season, and he's flourishing fantastically well this season. He's Lindelof. He's showing that he can play out from the back. He's getting more involved. He's galloping forward more. He's playing them. His passing's really, really improved as well. So I've been really, really improved. I've been really, really impressed, with Victor Lindelof this season as a Manchester United player. In relation to Marcos Rojo as well, I do think he's just recovered from injury as well as Marcos Rojo, because he's been could he be a player that could likely leave Manchester United in the summer as well, Marcos Rojo? Because, of course, he's had a lot of injury problems since he's been here. He's struggled with his fitness regime, and he is injury prone as a Manchester United player. Of course, he's good there as a backup option, because he's versatile at the back, is Marcos Rojo. He is a very, very good player, is Marcos Rojo, as we all currently know. I do like him, and he's good there as a backup option, but he's just known for injuries, is Marcos Rojo. So, could Man United get rid of him in the summer? Of course, we know Darmian, of course, is still injured as well. I think he's on his way out of the club as well, Matteo Darmian. Manchester United do have an option to trigger his extension by a further year, so we do have the option to extend his contract by a further year. He's been here a number of years now, really failed, to play regularly in the team. He's found game time very, very difficult, all in all, as a Manchester United player. There was speculation about Darmian, leaving back in the January transfer window as well. There were a few Italian teams interested in him, and obviously, he spent the entirety of his playing career in Italy, when he was playing in Italy, when he was younger, Matteo Darmian, because, he was at the likes of Torino, where actually Manchester United got him from. I think he began his career with Milan as well. So he was quite at a few Italian teams when he was a lot younger in his prime. But we've had him here now since 2015. This is his 4th season now in the process, but he has found game time very, very difficult indeed. So he could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. I'll tell you who else I've been impressed with. I've been impressed with Luke Shaw. As I said, Luke Shaw's been very, very good indeed. Still very, very young. Still young is Luke Shaw. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him. Of course, we got him from Southampton. As I said, I know that he's known for injuries, and he's an injury-prone player because he suffered injuries, when he was a Southampton player. He has suffered a few injuries as a Manchester United player, but we all know he's our first-choice left-back, and he's doing really, really well. He's making them good overlapping runs on that left-hand side. He's showing that he can play out from the back. He's getting high up the pitch, he's Luke Shaw, and he's getting involved fantastically well, and he's creating them attacks very, very well. He's Luke Shaw as well. So I have been very, very impressed with him as well. Luke Shaw's progression, especially, this season, he's played really, really well. He's played really, really well. But for me, I do think, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get the job as Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, as I said, because we're out a long time that Ed Woodward's number one was obviously Mauricio Pochettino, and we know for a long time he's been our number one choice, to take the job, to take the managerial job on a full-time basis at the end of the season, Mauricio Pochettino. But for me, we don't need Mauricio Pochettino. For one, Solskjaer is more proven and all that. Two, Solskjaer is obviously a lot cheaper alternative, because if we were to turn our intentions on Mauricio Pochettino, it would cost the club around 35-40 million pounds, to recommend him in. Besides the point, anywhere, Pochettino's no intention of leaving Tottenham. I think he's fully committed to Tottenham. He's happy at Tottenham. I think since he got recommended into Tottenham, Tottenham have spent around 254 million pounds on players since he got recommended in, and I don't think Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, will let Mauricio Pochettino leave anywhere. Tottenham, of course, are still awaiting their new stadium. And of course, Tottenham's still awaiting their new stadium. Of course, Mauricio Pochettino's not proven himself yet. He hasn't won out in terms of silver. He is good at growing and developing young players, as I said. Of course, I still think Tottenham will get top 4 this season, even though they have lost the last 2 games. But Pochettino would cost staggering amounts, would cost quite a bit of money, because obviously he signed a new 5-year deal with Tottenham just last summer, as I said. But he's done really, really well as Tottenham manager. Hasn't proven himself yet in terms of silverware, so he hasn't got that winning pedigree, as we all currently know, in terms of winning silverware, Mauricio Pochettino. But as I did say in relation, to Mauricio Pochettino, Man United, we're interested in hiring him in, for a long time. As I said, and this is his 5th season now with Tottenham. I think he's won over 100 games for Tottenham, as I said, and his record at Tottenham is very, very good. And when he was at Southampton, he had a good record with Southampton as well in his short tenure. He was at Southampton, but Tottenham have spent 254 million, since Pochettino got recommended in 2014. But he has done a really, really good job. But as I did say, Solskjaer is definitely a better option. Solskjaer is definitely a better option, as I currently said, because obviously he's more proven, because obviously he was a great player, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, under 11 years with Alex Ferguson. He won a lot of trophies and all that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. To be fair, he hasn't really won out much in terms of manager at the moment, but I do think that will come somewhere along the line in the future. And he has followed Alex Ferguson's philosophy, of course, as well. And, he's doing really, really well at Manchester United, so he is definitely, the best option, and he should get the job on a full-time basis now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, like ESPN reporting yesterday, it should be likely now that he's going to get the job on a full-time basis, which is very, very good news indeed. But the main part of this video is to give you an update on David De Gea. Reports do mention that reportedly he's demanding that he wants a wage increase. He wants around £400,000 a week, so he wants to be the highest paid player alongside Sanchez at this club if he is to commit to a new long-term deal at Manchester United. Reportedly, Manchester United are refusing to meet his wage and refusing to meet what he's demanding. So reports do say he could leave Manchester United when his current deal ends in 2020, because Manchester United activated the 12-month extension on his current contract last year, as we all currently know as well. So we'll have to identify replacements if David De Gea does leave. But hopefully still somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new long-term deal at the club as well, because he's happy at Manchester United. But what he's saying is, I don't think Sanchez should have got, Sanchez should be on £500,000 a week anywhere, because he's not with that anywhere. No footballer's with that, but he hasn't done that really, since he's come to Manchester United, of course. But yeah, David De Gea, see what happens. And more news, we'll update on that, as I said. So anyway, drop your comments, like below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God